Core Keeper is a sandbox exploration themed pixel game that drops you quite literally into a subterranean world with strange inhabitants and the ruins of an ancient empire lost to history. You explore, build, learn more about what brought down this caveling empire, and discover what else lurks in the darkness. Before early access for Core Keeper launched in early 2022, the developers participated in the Jingle Jam annual charity event. Players who participated in the open alpha event received the Jingle Jam cookie, a delicious-looking Linzer cookie with a gooey heart center. Eating the cookie grants your character a heartwarming feeling for about 1 minute. Therefore, in order to give ourselves a little heartwarming of our own, we're going to bake some Jingle Jam cookies today at Dakon's Bakehouse. This recipe is done in 2 stages. First, we will make the jam, and then the cookies. A couple tools can be very helpful as well, which I will link in the description below. The first tool is a special cookie cutter. It helps cut the heart-shaped holes into the center of the cookie. Second is a rolling pin. I have a rolling pin that has markings to help me flatten this cookie to the exact 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeter dough thickness that you're going for. Now, this is optional, as truthfully any rolling pin will work, but this one lets you cheat a little. To make the raspberry filling, you will need 1/3 cup or 65 grams of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 cups or 226 grams of fresh or frozen raspberries, 2 tablespoons of water, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. First thing you'll want to do is grab a saucepan and within it combine the sugar and cornstarch. Whisk it all together until it's mixed. Add the raspberries, water, and lemon juice and stir everything together until the raspberries are coated in sugar. Place the saucepan on your burner and turn it on to a medium heat. Now do not go above medium because you're going to want to go low and slow with this so that the raspberries dissolve evenly and the sugars have enough time to break down properly. Just keep stirring it regularly. It's going to be a bit rough at first and you may have to mash a few raspberries, but eventually the filling will all blend together into a sauce. Continue to cook and stir until the sauce is thickened. This usually takes about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on your altitude and the weather. Seriously, weather affects baking. It's nuts. Once thickened, place your sauce into a heat-proof container. Now, I spread mine out into 2 containers. I did this because if the liquid is a little too thick, the top can cool faster than the middle and create some texture inconsistencies. So to avoid this, I'm spreading the filling out and I'm making it thinner so that it cools faster and more evenly. Then just put it in the fridge and chill for at least 2 hours, if not overnight.
Several days later.
All right, it is now the next day and definitely not a week later. And in order to make the dough, we are going to need the following: 1 cup or 226 grams of unsalted butter, 1/2 cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar tightly packed, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 cups or 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and 2/3 cup or 67 grams of almond flour. Now, if you are allergic to nuts or you just don't have almond flour, you can replace the almond flour with cornstarch. Just increase the amount of cornstarch from 1 tablespoon to 4 tablespoons, and this cookie will be nut-free and perfectly safe. You're also going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, I use Blue Diamond kosher salt. It has a finer flake size than like other kosher salts like Morton's, and it's a bit thicker than iodized salt. We're also going to use powdered sugar for dusting, and then you're also going to want the raspberry jam filling that we made yesterday. If you have an electric stand mixer, you're going to want to grab that, some cling wrap, and a bowl. Now, if you don't have an electric stand mixer, you're going to need 2 bowls. First, we're going to combine our butter, both sugars, and the cinnamon into the electric stand mixer and beat until well combined. It should take only about 30 seconds to a minute, not long at all. In a separate bowl, whisk together both flours, the cornstarch, and the salt until well blended. Then gradually stir the flour mixture into the butter mixture. I like to kind of tap it slowly on the stand while the mixer is working so that the dough is able to fully combine without creating clumps of flour. Once everything is completely combined and you've got this nice doughy mixture, you're then going to remove the dough and split it into 2 discs. Form the dough up into like a circle and wrap it in the cling wrap. Now, I didn't have any cling wrap, so I used parchment paper. You're then going to want to chill the dough for about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, while the dough is chilling, let's take a closer look at the foods of CoreKeeper. CoreKeeper spent over 2 years in early access, and during that time, a lot of things changed. The Jingle Jam cookies went from being a rare collectible to a legend told only by a few old school players who were left that remembered the event. But CoreKeeper's cooking system got more and more robust. Unlike many other games that have a set number of recipes, CoreKeeper lets the player decide what they want to make. Every crop or fish in CoreKeeper can be paired with any other crop or fish to create some sort of dish. With 74 different cooking ingredients at the time of this recording anyway, that creates 2,775 different possible food recipes that a player can make. On top of that, the Jingle Jam cookie isn't the only rare food in the game. Several other food items have come and gone over the game's development, and if you are lucky enough to have been around during those early days of early access, there are recipes that you might have that cannot be attained in the game today. In fact, a player could get 151 more recipes if they had these unattainable ingredients. So the Jingle Jam cookies can hold their heads proud as they started a tradition kept up throughout the game's development. Rare foods that you can collect and brag to your friends about having. I'm pretty sure the dough is chilled by now, so let's go ahead and take them out of the fridge. At this point, you're also going to want to grab your cookie cutter, your rolling pin, some parchment paper, and a small bowl of all-purpose flour. First, you're going to want to place down some parchment paper and just sprinkle some flour over the parchment paper. This will help prevent sticking of the dough on the parchment paper. Then you're going to place the dough on top of said parchment paper. I wonder how many times I'm going to say parchment paper. Parchment paper. Sprinkle some flour over the top of the dough as well. Now, I also recommend rubbing some flour onto the rolling pin to help preventing the dough from sticking as you roll it out. But you should still expect it to stick a little bit. You're looking to roll the dough out to about 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters in thickness. Now, if your dough breaks or it's too hard to roll, just let it soften a bit, but you don't want to let it soften too much or the cookies won't hold their shape. Once you've rolled out a section of dough, it's time to cut the cookies. If you have a Linzer cookie cutter, you can easily cut the tops and bottoms of each cookie. One with a heart cut in the middle and one without. Otherwise, you want to cut out a 2.5 inch or 6.4 centimeter circle with any circular kind of cutter that you have available. If you want to be fancy, on half of them, cut out a small circle or heart from the center as well to give you your little top part. Now, if you're a talented baker and manage to roll and cut all of your dough at once, you can just pick up the parchment paper with all your cut out cookies and place it directly on the baking sheet. However, If you're a big old mess like I am, you'll need to transfer the cookies over to the baking sheet. Having a parchment paper underneath is really handy for getting your cookies that stick, so you can just bend and pop them free easier, allowing you to transfer your cutout over to the baking sheet without damaging the cookie's design. Gather up any leftover trimmings, ball them up, and roll them out again. Cut out more cookies until you just don't have enough trimming left. Your cookies should now be cut out and on baking sheets. If you have room in your fridge, just transfer them to the fridge or even the freezer for a few minutes to help cool them again. They will have warmed and softened a lot during the rolling process, and they will hold their shape better if they're chilled. While the cookies are chilling, preheat your oven to 350 degrees or 175 degrees Celsius. Once your oven is ready, place the cookies inside and bake for 9 to 10 minutes or until the edges turn a light golden brown. Remove the cookies from the oven and place them on a wire rack and just let them cool completely before filling. Now, once everything is chilled, take your powdered sugar and you're going to want to dust this onto the cookies. You'll want to use a strainer, a sieve, or just whatever you can find. And I found this tea strainer in one of my drawers, and I'm just going to use this. Just tap it over the cookies and dust them with powdered sugar. Grab a bottom cookie, the one without the cutout, and pick the worst looking side. A lot of mine got these little dips in them, so I'm just going to use that as a bowl for my sauce. Grab a spoon and place about a teaspoon, or a little bit more if you want, and spread it out onto the cookie. Then take a top cookie piece, the one with the cutout, and place that on top, creating a sandwich of raspberry delight. Repeat this process until you run out of Jingle Jam cookies to build. And there they are, Jingle Jam cookies. But unlike the ones in Core Keeper, these won't be a one-time event in my household. My wife is already asking me when I'm going to make these again. So if you want to make your own Jingle Jam cookies, there is a link to the recipe in the description below. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more tasty treats that we make here at Dakon's Bakehouse. All right, and now let's give it a taste, see how they turned out. Jingle Jam cookies. Gooey. It's got like this nice soft shortbread kind of taste, and then that tart raspberry. The whole thing is very sweet, so it's good that you have the raspberry a little tart, because the sweetness of everything else really cuts down on that tartness. But it's definitely going to get all over your hands and probably face. I'm sure I'm covered in powdered sugar right now. Sorry.